How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is not necessarily card related or anything like that. We're going to be talking about Superman. I have to talk about Superman. I saw this film twice. I loved it. I really do. We're going to get into a little bit of a review and a rant because this thing is getting a lot more flack and hate than I originally thought it was. Now, don't get me wrong, I was fully aware of the Snyder Bros and their incidences on the internet and the cesspool that is X from the Jump Street when this thing was announced and all the nitpicking and everything they've done. I'm well aware of it. I don't engage in it, but I'm aware of it. But what I'm talking about more or less is the woke shit. The woke shit, I don't see it, I don't get it. So I went back and I had to watch this movie twice, okay? I went back and I watched it twice to see if I could see anything that was woke. And the only thing that I could find that was woke, we're going to discuss and we're going to talk about it in this review rant of Superman. All right, guys, so first off, I want to say this film is extremely fast-paced. It throws you in there right off the bat, and there is humor. It's lighthearted throughout the film, but it's not jarring because the pace is set from Jump Street. It introduces you. It's goofy and lighthearted right off the bat, so you know what you're getting yourself into. So the acting is great. David Cornsweet is Superman. For what James Gunn asked of him to be and do, he is Superman. If you've read comic books, he's Superman. There's nothing non-Superman about this thing. The only thing that's questionable is the ending. Well, not the ending. The ending of this thing, we'll talk about his parents, his lineages, that shit, that big spoiler at the end. But David Cornsweet and the rest of the cast did a fantastic job. Look, I'm not really here to reiterate a lot of the other things that everyone said, like, oh, this is like a great Superman. He did a fantastic job. He is Superman. Yes, Lois Lane had things to do. Guy Gardner was kind of cool to watch. Yes, the Justice Gang was very fun, and Mr. Terrific stole the show. I think he did a fantastic job with that character, and they could have used a little bit of breathing time, but the film could have used a little bit of breathing time. It was a little bit more on the sci-fi than I originally thought it was going to be. Lex Luthor was an actual threat. I think he did a fantastic job, although at the end of the day, he still wanted land, and I don't know if that's a cheeky little nod to the character in the past films, and even in the comics, but that was fun. But no, Nicholas Hoult and the rest of the gang did a fantastic job. The only thing I can find that's wrong with this film is people might find it a little bit lighthearted and corny in spots, and a little bit too distracting when there's real scenes going on. But there are some real intense moments with Superman or Clark and Lois Lane that really, drive home some really cool points, and there's terrific acting. And yes, Lois Lane is more of a character, but don't forget Lois Lane in the Dean Cain Superman, Lois and Clark's, the Adventures of Lois and Clark TV series in the 90s, she was not a damsel in distress either. She was a really good character in that as well. And Amy Adams for her, I think that the Lois is for what they were supposed to do and what they were told to do with the direction of the film and the projects and the director and whatnot. I think they did fantastic. I don't have anything negative to say about that. James Gunn did a pretty good job with this one. I give it an 8. It's a solid 8. It's hard to get a 10, very hard to get a 10. So a solid 8 for me is good. Woke stuff, Superman, talking about maybe he's punk rock because he's anti all the things that we are. We got to remember something, guys. We're in turmoil. Everything's all BS. The whole world's falling apart. Everyone's got opinions. The loudest people are the dumbest and the loudest are screaming the loudest because social media. We got brain rot. We got problems all over the country. We got problems all over the world. There's conflict. There's death. There's hate, anarchy, all kind of shit. And Superman represents the best of humanity and rises above it and chooses to serve and be with us. And here we go with this message. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to this part. Anyway, his is basically, long story short, his parents sent them to Earth to maybe kind of like take over the dumbass humans who don't know what they're doing, and it's kind of open for interpretation. At least that's how I did in the movie. A lot of people are, they turn on him real quick, and that's kind of jarring. But it comes to find out, he didn't know that because it's been damaged, and he never saw that part. But Lex does his Lex thing anyway. But the whole world finds out that the real reason why his parents sent him might be nefarious reasons, and they don't try to think about the subtext of what the culture was. Thousands, the Kryptonians and their planet are thousands of years ahead of us, emotionally, mentally, technology-wise as well. So from their thinking, it's one of those things that James Gunn put out there that it's like, it's not so cut and dry. But in the film, it's pretty clear that Superman has to find his way to understand that with the help of his parents. Anyway, he finds out what it means to be human, not what it means to be human all along. I think you always do that, but I think he finds that the strength of character and what he does defines him, not what he thinks his parents wanted him to do. He can still be that person through your actions. He learns that from the Pa Kent, excuse me. So the film has got a great score as well. Cinematography is great in spots. I think it looks a little made for TV. Issues with the cinematography just a tiny bit, but the score is great. James Gunn is trying his very, very best not to be James Gunn with this film, and you can see it in spots, and you can see the James Gunn in spots, and I think he's holding back, and rightly so, to try to differentiate his time with Marvel, with the Galaxy films, Guardians of the Galaxy films, and also Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad. I can't remember which one he did, or Suicide, I don't know. Anyway, so you can see in spots that James Gunn's trying not to be James Gunny. But I think people are having a lot of problems with this woke style. I don't see the woke. And maybe I'm woke blind to a point where I have to turn my brain off and focus on other shit to enjoy shit. But I didn't see anything incredibly woke unless a corny Superman who just wants to do good and kind of wants to be more of a Clark Kent type Superman. I feel like this Superman is way more into the being the Clark guy and trusting people and caring about people, and maybe it's corny and he looks ridiculous. But that's the point. I think that this film is lighthearted in a time where we need it. It's perfect. And it is Superman, go down. He's been around for almost 100 years, guys. We've done everything we could with this character. It's been done before. So say this isn't Superman and somebody hasn't done it before. It's not true. And it goes back, I think a lot of this 80s stuff is in there as well. Superman with his parents and the lineage stuff. I think there was a time, I think in 84, Man of Steel, a run where his parents were like they are in this film. I'm not sure about that. Anyway. But this is a Superman movie. He is Superman. He does a fantastic job. David Cornsweet's awesome in this film. Lex Luthor's awesome in this film. The Justice Gang is fun. Mr. Terrific kind of stole the show. You get a little bit of James Gunn montage of a pop song with a fight scene. So you get some cool shit. It's not great. It's got holes. The pacing's probably a bit of an issue. Not a lot of time to breathe. Other than that, I can't find a problem with it. I really do think that we need a film like this. Guys, what do you think? Have you seen this film? Are you going to see this movie? I recommend you see it. Don't listen to people who don't know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand the technicals of a movie. And by technicals, this film is not technically bad at all. It's a well-sound, well-crafted, well-shot. The editing is great. The soundtrack is great. The acting is great. There's nothing wrong with this film technically. Now, you can find some abstract shit that you don't like with the story or the direction that they took with it. But by saying this isn't a good movie, those reasons don't make it a bad film. There are other pillars to what, and I'm a huge film fan, guys. There are huge differences between the two. So technically, no, this isn't a bad movie. Now, if your ideals don't align with this, or you think it's corny or stupid, those are your opinions, and that's what you can take away from that film. That is 100% your right. So you're not right or wrong, but you can't take away the technicals. That's basically where I'm going with that, guys. But I enjoyed the film. What did you think? Like I said, I gave it a solid 8. What I want to say is thank you so much for sticking with the channel, guys. I really do appreciate every single one of you who comes back and checks out my stupid ass videos every single day that I have fun just doing because it's just fun to do. There's no other reason than that, guys. And just want to be entertaining. Thank you, Jimmy. You rock. Jimmy knows who Jimmy is. Jimmy's the man. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Let me know if you've seen this movie. If you plan on seeing it, let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let's get in a debate down in the comments. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.